This reformed Luddite loves fiddling with technology and running around aimlessly with her miniature wolf child. Please welcome Sav Tahirian.
I met her 2 years ago. Her mother first contacted me. She had heard that I was interested in studying the invisible people, the people hidden behind the veils of society. When we first met, it was almost surreal. From her mother's description, I could not believe that she was the girl who I was meeting. Her mother described her as gifted. She had a photographic memory, a passion for sport, music, and technology. In particular, programming. Now, this was hard enough for me to fathom, not just because I personally find programming so damn difficult, but because her only means of communication was through her eyes. More specifically, she spelt out words, letter by looking in different directions, and her mother translated her eye movements into sentences. Her body was the cause of her invisibility. Because of her disabilities, she could not fit in within the normal realms of society. Apart from her eyes, she was completely locked within her body, strapped in her wheelchair, seldom leaving her home. Although she dreamed of being part of our world, establish meaningful friendships, go to school, start a career, even sail a boat, her independence and ability to communicate were severely compromised. And she's not alone. There are over 250 million people around the world just like her. However, the technological revolution is upon us. We can now use the central nervous system to interface with machines. This direct communication with the human brain can enable us to transcend the limitations of our physical bodies, giving voice and equal access to opportunities for all, and bringing the invisible people out from the shadows of society.
Beautiful, thought-provoking work. I do not envy the judges. You're all busy making notes though. Look at it. Look how many columns you've got. Oh, there's so many columns and numbers. It's amazing. Well, I do not envy them. It'll be a tough job picking a winner. But congratulations to you guys. You made it to the end of the night, and you guys have been such a great crowd. You've given so much to these guys, and they've really pulled it out. I think they've done a great show so far. This is the final act. Look at that. That's a Japanese taiko drum, in case you're wondering. It's not some kind of Japanese birthday cake from which some kind of little crazy midget is going to burst from its mouth. I assure you that's not what's next. All right, all set? Here we go. Ah, yes, and now for something completely different. Our last PhD student is extremely active when she isn't busy with experiments and writing papers. You can find her doing yoga, rock climbing, swimming, and as you may have guessed, taiko drumming. Please welcome to the stage, Emily Hargrave Thomas.
If you stretch your imagination a bit, our bones are actually kind of like this drum. The bones themselves are hard, but they're lined with a much softer cartilage that creates a smooth, slippery surface in the joint. And the forces in our joints are akin to the sound that the drum makes when we play it. So walking might sound something like this. Or running. Or dancing. But that's a healthy joint. In the disease osteoarthritis, the cartilage degenerates and exposes the underlying bone, which causes joint pain. The progression of the disease might sound something like this. Whew, that silence? That's the sound of osteoarthritis sufferers giving up on the activities that they love, like hiking or jogging or playing taiko drumming, because their joint pain becomes too great. But all of the treatments we have for this disease, none of them actually treat the disease. They all only treat the pain. We're unable to heal cartilage once it's degenerated, and we're unable to slow or stop the progression of the disease. So my PhD looks at the earliest changes in the joints, before the cartilage degenerates and before you feel any joint pain. And we found that the stiffness of the bone changes first. We can illustrate that with our drum. If we use a bone that's less stiff. That difference in sound that you hear relates to the cartilage feeling different forces, which can cause it to degenerate. So my PhD research is a vital first step if we ever hope to be able to detect the disease sooner, before you even experience joint pain, and develop treatments that can halt the progression of the disease, so our healthy joints can always sound like this.
Congratulations, guys. That's all 12 of the students. Huge round of applause for all of the acts you've seen this evening. We're going to take a short break, okay? And when we come back, we're going to award the $1,000 People Choice Prize collectively. We will. The judges, they're going to go upstairs and deliberate now, and they're going to come back, and then we're going to award the $5,000 cash prize to one other lucky winner. And before that, though, I'm going to pass the mic to Ursula Carlson, and she's going to jump on stage and entertain for a little while as well. But before we go to the break, can you give us another bash on the drum? Go.
I'll play you a bit of a song that's called Nami, which means waves, and hopefully you can see a bit of those waves in the movement.